Have you ever wondered, where do we come from? How were we made? And in this vast, endless universe, do we even matter? The universe is unimaginably vast. But what if we compressed all 13.8 billion years of cosmic history into just one calendar year? The Big Bang, January 1st. The Sun, mid-August. Earth, late August. Dinosaurs, Christmas Day. And humanity? We appeared in the very last second of December 31st. History, civilization, everything we've ever known. Just a fleeting flash before the clock strikes midnight. So if the universe was 1 year long, where exactly are we in that timeline? And how did we get here? Today, I'll take you through the entire history of the universe, compressed into a single year. This is the cosmic calendar. Sounds unbelievable, right? But that's exactly how the universe works. It's so unimaginably vast that we have to shrink it down just to begin to grasp it. This idea is called the cosmic calendar. It compresses all 13.8 billion years of the universe's history into a single calendar year. Each month, over 1 billion years. Each day, 38 million years. And in just 1 second, more than 400 years of human history flash by. Empires rose and fell, genius inventions were born, wars reshaped the world, all in just the blink of an eye at year's end. You might feel small hearing that, but maybe, just maybe, it's what makes us extraordinary. Because we're the only species who can look back at the universe's entire calendar and ask, where did I come from? And if you're wondering what happened on day 1 of that year, that's where the universe's story begins. January. The universe begins. The first day of the cosmic year. No New Year's bells, no fireworks, just a single moment when everything came into existence from nothing. Space didn't exist. Time hadn't begun. And then, the Big Bang. Not an explosion tearing through silence, but a grand expansion. Space stretched itself into being, and time began to flow for the very first time. The universe emerged from a nameless point, unfolding in all directions, as if exhaling after an eternity of stillness. It wasn't beautiful. It was hot, chaotic, invisible, but right there, the first particles formed, the first laws of physics took shape, and the potential for all life was born. No one witnessed that moment, but if you could go back, you'd see it wasn't chaos. It was a beginning. And everything that followed, the stars, the planets, the oceans, and even you, already existed in the form of pure, unnamed energy. Around 2 weeks after the Big Bang, mid-January in our cosmic year, the chaos began to fade, and the universe started to settle. The universe began to settle. After the initial explosion, heat spread everywhere, and the cosmos started to cool down. For hundreds of thousands of years, matter and light were trapped together, unable to pass through, unable to escape. But then, around 380,000 years after the Big Bang, the temperature dropped low enough for the first atoms, hydrogen and helium, to form. And for the first time in history, light was free, no longer held back. It raced through space, carrying with it the universe's first memory, a faint echo we can still hear today, the cosmic microwave background. Back then, the sky wasn't pitch black like it is now. It glowed, an endless red-orange hue, like the oldest sunrise, stretching across the cosmos for millions of years. The universe was no longer a screaming newborn, but a child learning to be quiet and to shine. By March, the silence had depth. Gravity began to shape the stillness, and from the dark, something stirred. From the first light, the universe kept expanding, but no longer in chaos. Regions of denser matter began pulling together under gravity, and in the frozen vastness of space, immense clouds of gas started swirling into form. That's when the first stars were born. They lived fast, burned bright, died alone, but their deaths weren't in vain. These early stars gathered, pulling in dust, energy, and light, until the first galaxies emerged. Some scattered, others merged, and one of them would one day become our home, the Milky Way. The universe was still cold and dim, but for the first time, it had structure. It had rhythm, like a silent symphony just beginning to find its melody. By June, galaxies filled the sky. Stars lit up the darkness. But light was only the beginning. Something deeper had begun. When the first star clusters had formed, the universe entered a new chapter, the forge of elements. Massive stars, dozens of times the mass of our sun, burned through hydrogen, then helium, then carbon. Deep within their cores, pressure and heat reached extremes where heavier elements began to form. Carbon, oxygen, neon, iron. But these elements wouldn't stay trapped forever. When a giant star reached the end of its life, it exploded in a supernova. And in that single, violent moment, heavy elements were flung into space like golden dust on the wind. For the first time, the universe didn't just shine, it gave. It scattered the building blocks of planets, oceans, and life. The elements in your bones, your blood, were once forged in the heart of a star. We are, quite literally, born from the ashes of stars. By August, the universe had everything it needed: heavy elements, time, and gravity. All that remained was to begin assembling a solar system. Heavy elements had been scattered across the universe, and within the swirling currents of the Milky Way, a rich cloud of gas and dust began to collapse. In silence, gravity pulled everything toward the center. Temperatures rose, pressure mounted. Then suddenly, light burst forth from the darkness. The sun was born. But it wasn't alone. The leftover debris kept circling around it, colliding, clumping, shattering, and reforming. Among those fragments was one small piece, made of rock, iron, and water, slowly shaping into a young planet. Not as radiant as a star, not as cold as an asteroid. Just a gray-blue marble drifting in orbit. We call it Earth. Back then, it had no oceans, no skies, no life. But it had the most important things: raw ingredients, the right distance, and time. Everything it needed was already in place. Like a stage freshly built, just waiting for the show to begin. And then the cosmic stage stood silent. No applause, no eyes watching, just a lonely rock drifting in the dark. But deep within, something had begun. Time was ticking. For the first miracle in the universe: life. This is just the beginning. In part 2, we'll follow the oceans as they breathe and watch life climb from water onto land. If this journey moved you, leave a like. Got questions or thoughts? Drop them in the comments. And hit subscribe so you won't miss part 2, when Earth learns to breathe.